Hello, everyone. It's Morphin Mania time. I am Captain Logan. And this is Jason.
It's me.
And joining us, as always, of course, is my illustrious co-host, DJ.
Hello, everyone.
DJ, I know you're excited for this evening.
Oh, so excited. Actually,
I know you're
genuinely.
I know you're stoked. I know you just can't. You've been talking about this movie this whole time.
Well, because, quick background, I watched this movie a ton as a kid, but then I decided that I didn't like it because it wasn't the show canon, and then I haven't watched it in a long time. So I'm excited to see how I feel about it this time.
Have you not watched it since you boycotted it for not counting in the continuity?
I don't know. I probably have, but it's been a while. It has been a while.
I have said my piece on this movie. I've done a rewind. I did a commentary. Then Eric lost that commentary on a channel that flagged it for copyright. So we shot another one. And shortly after he moved here, so maybe even like a year in. So like it has not been that long ago since I did a commentary on this movie. And I don't have anything left to say. So you will hear me say some things I've said before. DJ and I did do a little bit of research this time, so there may be some new factoids that come up and stuff. Not that that's primarily what these are about. And of course, with Morphin Mania, this is primarily about us kicking back, relaxing, watching a movie, and saying whatever random stuff comes to mind. So this will be, once again, as unprofessional as we can make it.
Yeah, DJ and I will talk about the helmets.
Yeah, we'll talk about aesthetics because Cap doesn't care, except for Zed.
I do care about Zed aesthetics. No, I have opinions, certainly, and it's Power Rangers, so, you know, the superficial stuff is more of what you're going to have to talk about in general. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I think
guess.
What will be interesting about this experiment is that we have the first two seasons so fresh because we just watched them. So it'll kind of be like getting right back into the time when this was released. Comparing it to the show and stuff like that.
And it will also be interesting watching this. That's a good point you're making after seeing all of season 2, because this was made before or just as season 2 was coming out. Like they started making it in between 1 and 2. Yeah,
I was right about that Australia thing. They did film like I think they said the last 6 episodes they had to film at the same time as they were filming the movie because
when they had any downtime at all, they went and shot the TV show.
That's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. And we talked about this a little bit when we reviewed those episodes, when we talked about those episodes, when we sat around casually and watched them together. I don't think the Rangers the human actors appear as often in those episodes. Like, I think they found ways to have, their interactions on screen to be as minimal as possible.
Well, yeah, the wedding was definitely like a lot of Rangers in that mansion. So
yeah, it was just in outfits, and then there's a lot more villain footage than normal in that too. That explains why they came up with an excuse. And it's funny because like they treated that like a big event, but their actors weren't in a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it's like well we'll bring back a bunch of monster costumes and make like a huge event out of this to save time and money. That's almost ingenious in its way, really. Yes, Anime 2019, Jason does have Pokemon headphones on. I'm sorry, what?
I'm just saying almost ingenious could be one of the taglines for Power Rangers.
Yes, absolutely. It's nice to see everybody in the comments. If you are watching live and you haven't done it yet, click on the link in the description for the Rabbit Room, and you can watch exactly what we're watching as we're watching it. I am going to broadcast the movie, so you're not going to have to pull out your DVD or anything and watch along with us, unless, of course, you're watching after the fact, in which case, of course, you will need to do that. And you'll just want to sync it up and press play whenever I say now, get it to timestamp 0. If you happen to watch this on Stars on Hulu, if you are one of the 15 people in the world that pays for that, make sure to get it past the Stars logo and right at the Fox logo. That's where I'm going to start playing, because the majority of people that will sync with us, their DVDs will start in that place. So get it past everything, including anything that might be at the beginning before you. So it might not be timestamp 0. In my case, it's timestamp 13. So 13 seconds. Is everybody ready to begin? We're just going to jump right into it. Put yourselves back, if you will, in the wonderful, glorious year of 1995, and imagine that it is the summer of that year, and Batman Forever is coming out. Casper the Friendly Ghost is coming out. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right Now, this movie got greenlit after just one season. Actually, before that season was even over, Saban pitched it.
In talks already.
Isn't it nuts?
I wonder if it was really already that popular, or if Saban is just that confident that he's like, yeah, this is going to be amazing.
He seems to be really good at convincing people to do things.
Yeah.
Just look at this show. Okay, so it's like Star Wars. We're going to open with a crawl. And just like Star Wars, some of, but not all of, the proper nouns are in capital letters. I guess Zordon was already legendary centuries ago.
Are people in the comments saying anything about the chat? Because it's not working for me.
What's not working?
The rabbit room.
Is it just not broadcasting? Oh, it's not. Okay, hold on. We'll start again. Everybody, we're going to start all over. Rabbit Room has been having issues this evening. I was honestly worried we weren't even going to be able to broadcast tonight, which is becoming a fear again, in fact.
It was on there, but then like as soon as it froze, so I hit refresh, and now it's just the rabbit logo.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too. And about 20 minutes ago, this was all I was able to get from the Rabbit Room as well. So I am a little bit concerned that we might not be able to broadcast the Rabbit Room tonight, and I'm not sure what we'll do if that's the case.
Then everyone.
I hate to get another day behind. Yeah.
Me too. Especially since we're broadcasting now and everybody's here. But I also would hate to try to do this without, make everybody sync. Yeah. And you and I try to sync our DVDs up, because that doesn't always work great. And also, we've got some bad weather here. The power could go. Like, anything can happen.
Man. Hopefully this gets rolling pretty soon.
Yeah, everybody can be. No, it is awkward. I'm with you, Cinematographic.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything because I was hoping it would just refresh, but I was like, I should say something because he's talking about the movie and it hasn't started yet.
Yeah, I was like, hey, DJ, why aren't you talking to me about this crawl? Oh, because the crawl's not working. Even if we end up having to start over or do this on a different day, it would be amusing to broadcast this, to post this anyway.
Yeah.
Feel like the lost day of Morphin Mania. What did they do that day? Awkwardly try to make the Rabbit Room work? That's what they did.
Well, they called the pilot episode the lost episode when they released that finally, so it would be in true Power Rangers fashion.
You're like, why did you guys actually? Nothing happened that day. Why did you guys did you see Alpha's Magical Christmas? Like, it doesn't stop Power Rangers from posting things, from broadcasting stuff. Jeffrey, thanks for the super chat.
What did he say?
He just sent a $2 super chat and said these things happen. All good. No, I really appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for
the encouragement. Makes me feel better. Anime 2919 says, "I'm glad I didn't miss this. This is funny." You remember when we did Waiting for the Orville? This is like waiting for Power Rangers, like waiting for the Rabbit Room.
Waiting for the Rabbit Room.
Yeah, Thomas, the Rabbit Room is not working. It's not locked. It's broken. It's made of busted. Let's give it like 5 minutes. This is doing exactly what the Rabbit Room was doing a while ago. Although I
am getting a locked notification now. It refreshed, but I'm getting the room is locked.
All I'm getting is Running Bunny Rabbit.
Weird. It says I can let you know that you're let you know that I'm here. I don't know what that does.
Oh, great. Awesome. How many people in the chat own this movie? Do we want to try to sync this up 15 ways?
I mean, I could pop it in. I got it right here. It's gonna be weird though, because I'm gonna be looking at my TV over here.
I mean, look, I'm all ready to go, guys. Like,
I'm on a laptop that doesn't have a CD drive, so.
Yeah, Jeffrey's got that thing I had earlier where I won't even let him into the Rabbit app. No, their servers are having problems. This is not on me. This is all Rabbit. I blame the Rabbit. Oh, it's hard to catch in Mario 64, and it's hard to catch right now. Sorry, what?
It took me to the home page. Now I put your link in, and it says the room is locked.
Bag Studio. Justin, how does yours have commercials? What are you watching on a taped VHS tape? Like, how does that work? No, Thomas, it's not on Netflix. Otherwise, we would be using Netflix. because that's how we do every other Power Rangers thing. But the only things that we can't watch this way are the movies, or that way are everything else is on Netflix. This is also it's also amusing just how many comments we're reading right now with nothing going on. Just getting a lot of live comments right now.
It's just a live show, but we have no plan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if we end up actually using this video, it'll be really amusing because people will just have to wait for like 7 or 8 minutes of us like hemming and hawing trying to decide what we're gonna do. It's like, no, that's a 2-hour video. They actually watched the movie at some point, but we have to sync it right.
The video is gonna be like over 2 hours for a 95-minute movie.
Yeah, it's not a long movie. It's 1:35, hour 35. Oh man. So the Rabbit Room is still 8 shades of busted.
So it's still just spinning for you?
Yeah, it's still a rabbit running. It's still
Wait, is
it's a whole lot of him doing
135
this.
minutes more than an hour and 35 minutes?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is 135 minutes more than an hour and 35 minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's different. You have to do different math because it's 60 minutes plus 35 minutes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then 100 minutes plus 35 minutes.
Right. So that would be different. Yeah. John Early says Captain Logan just talked like Ivan Ooze. The Brady Bunch reunion. Meet my kids.
Did you know? I was going to bring this up later in the episode. Did you know they're called oozlets? You read that?
Yeah, I did read that. I was like, oh, that doesn't make it in the movie anywhere.
I've never heard of that. It sounds so stupid.
Yes, Thomas Edgeshill, I did try refreshing the page. I sure did. Okay, it's coming back now. Now, for the record, Thomas, I did refresh the page frequently. You just happened to have said it, and then I did it again, okay?
Cap, he's not the one that does machines.
No, that's Donnie. What are we talking about right now? What?
I don't know.
What? He's not even a Ninja Turtle. What are we talking about? Thomas is not a Ninja Turtle. Okay, I'm getting my movie to timestamp 13.
Okay, I just have like a picture of Thomas Edgeshill's profile photo.
Yeah, that's because I haven't started sharing this yet.
Okay.
No, we're just gonna watch Thomas Edgeshill because he's the guy who had the brilliant notion of refreshing the page, and then it worked.
Which one are you? Are you the child in the picture?
I'm guessing probably so.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't want to make assumptions. I don't even know his gender.
Grim Death Griffin says, Captain Logan, where's my autograph book? Where's my autograph book?
Where's my
I want to
autograph?
cosplay
Where's
as
my
Ivan Ooze. I think that would be just
autograph?
the best.
Oh, yeah.
It would be hard to do it right. It would be hours of makeup.
Yeah, and as we learned reading the book, not to give too much stuff away. By the way, the book we're talking about, we did our research today. This is our textbook that we're working from. This is Power Rangers: The Ultimate Visual History, and read what amounts to about how long like a junior high textbook chapter would be on the subject. I would say.
Yeah, it was pretty long. Luckily, there's lots of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is the visual history after all. But something we learned is that the actor who played Ivan Ooze came up with the brilliant idea of putting
refreshing a page.
Yeah, he was like, if Ivan Ooze was like, if we refresh the browser, maybe we can watch the Rabbit Room. We can see the movie I made. No, he had the brilliant idea of coloring his tongue so that he wouldn't have a human tongue inside of this alien body, and every time they would shoot a scene, he would get this food coloring in his mouth and then spit it out and then do the scene, and because it would disappear real fast. So I don't know how you'd get past that if you tried to cosplay it.
Yeah, you'd have to hold it in your mouth before every picture, and then
you just walk around with like a bucket. You just spit stuff out. You're just like, "Where's my autograph book?"
Oh, wait a minute.
Except reverse that. You do that first. Where's my? Anyway,
There's a question about me.
I did get Jason a Power Rangers coloring book.
Should I go get it?
No, we need to get into this now.
Yeah.
We are not gonna restart the broadcast. People who watch this later are just gonna have to deal with this.
We'll put a timestamp, hopefully.
Yeah, no, we will. We'll put it in a timestamp. Well, everybody's here, DJ. I don't want to stop the room and make everybody have to come back.
I'm down.
It is working right now. I guess the thing we have to do is decide whether or not we're going to take the risk, because it could break down on us again in the middle.
I mean, why not? Let's at least try it. If we have to come back later.
Then we have this ridiculous video where we're going to have this partial Power Rangers the movie commentary. So when I said unprofessional, does everyone believe me now?
I don't think there was any question beforehand, but this really cements it.
Okay. Here we go. Everybody remember the drill. Let's get started. Here we go. Everybody please press play right now.
Yes.
For real.
Take two.
Well, so far so good. I got a week trial subscription to Stars just so I could broadcast this, and then we almost had to put in the disc. Disney present. I mean, 20. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Like, Fox did the movie. Disney later owned the rights to Power Rangers. Now Disney owns Fox.
Full circle.
So you don't realize it when you first see this movie, but you're going to see the woman whose voice this is later, because this is Dulcia's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unmistakable, because she's like, yes, a frog!
Like the one you kiss?
Like, yeah. So all the important words are in capital letters.
Yeah, Zords. Vehicles.
So it's all. Originally, there were 6. There's we've really simplified that. We're not going to talk about how there were 6, and then Rita got the coin. There were 5, but then I don't know if any of that happened anyway, because this is out of continuity.
It's out, but it's so like I don't know. It's so weird. The continuity of this movie is so weird because they keep so much of it that they don't need to. That's kind of like pigeonholing themselves. Yeah,
but then it's weird the stuff they get rid of and replace anyway. Like, there's no Squatting Babu. We put in that pig guy. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like a just slightly alternate reality. Very slightly.
It's we want the Rangerverse. It's just slightly different.
We want all the iconography that the kids recognize, but we also think we have to change little things here and there just to make it more cinematic. But then I don't know how some of that stuff makes it. Like, you could have just done a more cinematic looking Squat and Boo Boo, or just not had them at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did that need a replacement?
Well, this is a little more cinematic than ATVs and like surfing.
Yeah, and it doesn't go on quite as long, but it can't, because at some point you have to land when you're skydiving. You know, you can't really do that forever.
Well, I mean, you're the expert.
Wait, that guy?
Yes, well, as the expert in skydiving, which I did one time, strapped to a guy's back.
And immediately,
yeah, that's the thing a lot of people like to do when they are skydiving and know what they're doing. I'm sorry, what, DJ?
Immediately, they make sure you know this is the cool one. He has the snowboard.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. This is foreshadowing for the fact that he's the only one that will matter.
Yeah.
And I would argue that the Rangers and that the characters in this are even more interchangeable than they are on the show.
Which is really annoying. Like, just let the characters be, and then let the kids pick which one they like. Like, we don't tell you which turtle is the one you should like. You just I like Donatello, and everyone likes a different turtle. Like,
yeah, but the difference is none of them were introduced later,
except the Ninja Turtles too, because
Venus.
The thing is, all the right, and then she's the only one that matters in that show.
That's true.
And it's a Saban.
Well, it's a very Saban thing to do.
So regardless of the fact that and of course, I don't want to hold this to like regular story and movie standards, because even though it looks like a big budget real movie, it's still Power Rangers. Even though we're not really telling any kind of story with this opening or anything, it was very memorable in the theater. And I think it's just because it feels so much bigger than that show was. We couldn't have had a big skydiving opening sequence. And also, this is going to sound dumb. It's just, it was the heat of summer when this came out, and this feels like a summer movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is a cool way to open the movie. I mean, I feel like no other sport has more appropriate clothing for Power Rangers than skydiving. They look like Power Rangers outfits.
There's my favorite.
But if I was standing in that crowd, I might be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait, they're coming in sequence with the same colors.
And yeah, they have the 6 colors that are the Power Rangers. The one that we know is supposed to be the one that's the cool one that everyone always talks about is the one that comes in last and is on a snowboard.
The one with the vest is the one with the snowboard.
They all hit it.
David says that's the financial district behind them. Power Rangers, this movie is a lot like the Nolan Batman movies in that it's suddenly a real city that you can recognize, but you're just supposed to think that it's still the same city, and it's Angel Grove. But that is Sydney, Australia. When
you went skydiving, did you have this song playing in your head the whole time?
I did. I actually did. I did think about that, but not the whole time, because as I've mentioned before, it was really exciting and exhilarating, and then I got out of the plane and it was really super windy and I could hardly breathe, and then it was just abject terror until the chute was pulled, and yeah, I guess my default resting face is not abject terror, because when you look at that video, you can't tell that I'm freaking out. I am freaking out. And then the chute gets pulled and then we're just dropping. I spent the whole time just recovering. I can breathe again.
Yeah, I always think of this because I watched this so young. I was like 3 when this came out. That song is always linked with that scene. So when it plays, I think it plays in the new Karate Kid at the end of the tournament. And I'm just thinking about this the whole time.
I'm also so used to that version because of this movie that I can't deal with other covers. Like I've heard this 3 or 4 other times, like other versions of it. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, it is a different version in Karate Kid or Kung Fu Kid.
Yes. Yes. No, somebody told, because of this movie, somebody told me that song was in that. It was in that movie, but I've still never seen that.
Oh yeah.
But when I hear it on the radio and stuff, I'm like, it's not the right version.
So that's really in line with Bulk and Skull. They would be stupid enough to just say they can do something even though they're not. They do it all episodes of two seasons we've watched is just them thinking they can automatically do everything and then failing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So that is in that formula. They've nailed that. Now, the thing to keep in mind, and maybe this was not true in '95, these days, most companies that you can go skydiving with will not let you first time out go yourself. You have to go tandem, and you have to go tandem frequently and a certain number of times before you're allowed to start jumping yourself. You get like a notebook or like a punch card thing, and I would have had to have kept going before I would have been allowed to do that. You got to jump tandem quite a bit. And also, not making fun of his size or weight or anything, but I don't think Bulk would have been allowed to jump.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I'm right about that, but I think he would be big enough they wouldn't have let him jump.
I've never done it. I've only done indoor skydiving, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, I just can't get excited about that because it's not skydiving in any shape or form. It's
really hard though.
Is it?
You cannot. First time out, I could not stay up on the fan. You just fall if you don't know perfectly.
I don't know how they get away with calling it indoor skydiving. It looks more like pretending like you're weightless or something.
Yeah. So this is very
like how Bulk and Sure. I like how Bulk and Skull just happened to land where this is going on.
Real construction site, we learned.
Yep. real abandoned construction site.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like they got to a certain place and then they ran out of money and they quit building. So who knows what's there now? Maybe it still looks like this.
So is it weird? We'll find out later that the Rangers trapped him in this egg. Is it weird that they like decorated it to look like him and then trapped him in it?
Boy, that's a really good point.
It looks like an evil thing. It doesn't look like something the Rangers.
Well, it's just the Power Rangers had a great production designer who just wanted to do a really cool looking thing with it. The production designer of this movie is the guy who designed Fury Road of all things.
Wow.
He's come a long way.
Alpha sounds weird.
You tell him, Jason.
Command center looks weird.
It is cool that they kept that design, but they built something.
So what do you think?
Now, I'm okay with Alpha's design in this.
He's taller. He's a lot taller.
Oh, you're right. He is a lot taller. He's as tall as the female Power Rangers. He's like Kimberly could be in the suit.
Yeah.
Rangers!
Do his arms stretch? So annoying.
Is that how he trained them?
Playing against him in the game is so annoying.
DJ's talking about the phone game, for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about.
The movie Alpha is really annoying. Not this.
Jeffrey says that Zordon is milky.
Yeah, he's a little pasty.
When you do that close up, he looks weird.
He's got kind of like an Odo thing going on. He's
old.
And it looks like, well, he's legendary and thousands of years old. He looks like he put like powdered donut all over his face. Oh, they're doing the Star Wars transition thing.
Very Star Wars. Very Star Wars.
A lot on Star Wars.
Yes, they were looking at that Star Wars a lot.
Yeah, Zordon, a different voice than the actor. I didn't know that until I read about that.
Yeah, which is weird. When I talked to David Fielding, he said he wanted to do this, but I think part of the deal was like he couldn't get there or something. Like he would have had to go to Australia and he wasn't going to go. I forget what exactly the deal was, but he was bummed out that he wasn't in this. So
Zed's voice is a little tweaked.
It's way tweaked. They're trying to make him sound scarier, which is commendable since they take his teeth away later in the series, but he's everything about him's wrong. Unlike the stage show, he looks better straight on than he does in side profile.
I never knew that his brain moved around. Do you see that?
Oh, that's actually
really cool.
No, I didn't realize that. Somehow I never noticed that. His face is so elongated.
I don't like the weird rib cage thing. He's got a different rib cage.
I don't like that either.
Everybody looks weird.
Cinematographic, his brain's moving because it's awesome. It should have done that in the show. That's the one thing I will really give this.
Yeah, is it a visual effect or is there something under there actually bumping up and down? It must be.
No, it's probably a practical effect. And as you read, most of the stuff in this is practical.
Yeah, except for the stuff that's obviously not, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's grossly not practical.
Motor mouth. I always like that.
You know what? I think I have more of a problem with his face than anything, and it's just because it's so elongated. I don't know why, but like I'm more okay with it now than I ever have been. Like the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing.
It's kind of Venom-y.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you love Venom and you love Zed, but when you put it together,
yeah, it just doesn't quite work. But yeah, they dropped his voice by like a third.
It's so deep, yeah.
Yeah, it's Super Shredder. Brita.
So we should say right up front, everything about Ivan Ooze is amazing.
Everything. He's fantastic.
It's so good.
I would have done anything for him to be a series-long villain.
Yeah, if you're going to just immediately can all the villains that we love, at least we have a great villain to replace him.
Yeah, that is the saving grace of this movie, right? Because I mean, I remember being in the theater as a kid being a little bit conflicted about that, where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get Zed this whole movie, but this guy's awesome. Back Studio says Ivan just did my battle cry. $2 super chat. Thanks, man. Okay, but does he need extra motivation? Zed's like, okay, Ivan, I want you to destroy the Rangers. Didn't they put him there?
Yeah,
Like, doesn't he have?
Does he not know that Ivan is like their sworn nemesis?
Yeah. So he's got, he would already have this big revenge motive. I also think it's weird that there's no discussion from Rita. Again, this is out of continuity, so maybe this isn't true in this slightly off-kilter universe. But the same thing happened to him that happened to her.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing as the dumpster for thousands of years.
I like this line. But the delivery.
Teenagers. The reason we learned as we read our textbook on this, the reason that he is as much fun in this as he is because they let him do whatever he wanted to, and he just went to the nines. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be as over the top and cartoony as I can be, and I just love that he had no shame. Like, he's great, and I didn't realize that. What is that actor's name? I didn't realize
Freeman, something Freeman.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he was the director's first choice. Paul Freeman. Yeah, cool. He was the first choice. That's who they always wanted.
I love how he's just messing with him right here. Like he's. There's no reason he had to do that.
That's only there to tell the audience that he can shapeshift.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I love how dismissive and just like whatever nonchalant he is. Like, he's got way more attitude than our teenagers with attitude. He's like, allow me to introduce myself, like you deserve to know anything about me.
I'm a galactically feared, globally reviled. Man, I remember all of this. I watched this.
Oh yeah.
Kid.
Good one, Kimberly.
Mr. Raisinhead.
Cinematographic says acting. Yeah, but that's the thing is, this is a real actor.
Yeah, he was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, and he did a lot of stage stuff before that.
That was cool. I like that effect. Where it just zaps.
So we've talked about this before. He obviously was looking, and I always thought that this was more the script, but maybe it was also a lot of him, since
those look like
they just said, do whatever with this crazy makeup you're wearing. But I always thought he was looking at Freddy Krueger. And when I saw this in the theater, I thought he was Robert Englund.
Okay, it's a mix of,
and especially with this, like, this could have been Robert Englund.
So those things are a mix of putties and the zombies from Thriller.
Yeah, these are oozlets, as we mentioned earlier, which is a terrible name, but they're pretty cool. They have like dreadlocks. Never before or since, DJ, have I wanted more for the protagonist of a movie to leave or die so I could spend the entire time with the villain. Exactly. Because he is
just more.
There are two things, and then
can't escalate the whole Jason.
Again, part of the Robert Englund thing is Welcome to My Nightmare is in the script, but he knew what to do with that. Like, I don't know if that was directed. But yeah, there are two things this movie really has going for it. One of them is production value, and the other one is everything about Ivan Ooze. Yeah. So as a kid, this was always my favorite scene of the whole movie, because obviously I was interested in the martial arts, and this is the most we get, like, action-wise, for my taste anyway. Yeah, there's some stuff in the ninja suits later that's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I always like the actors. I always like seeing the actors actually do it. When I was a kid. But at least some of that, there are places where you can tell it's them because you can see their eyes. Mm-hmm. And of course, some of this is still going to be their stunt doubles. Yeah. Okay, can't deal with the sound effects. Yeah, no, that always drove me nuts. So we should talk about them adding the one-liners, because it's already started. Adam said, "Do you ever play kick the can and then kick the can at him?" That's not something they do in the show as much. I guess they felt they needed it for the movie. Well, they did say that what was her name, Orson, who wrote the script, she wanted to add a bunch of that kind of stuff to make it more. Yeah, that's why Ivan Ooze is jokey. Because apparently Ivan Ooze came from a script that wasn't jokey. Yeah, and they mixed it, and they had to do a rewrite of him. So this is interesting. We shoot the actual.
They don't do regular the regular order.
Well, we shoot the Zord call actually in the scene that we're in, which is interesting. The morphers are different. They're like full color.
Wait, White Tiger.
Yeah. What are you confused about? It's White Tiger.
He doesn't say that in the original song.
They're just straight up Zord calls.
So there you go, Jason. We can complain about Kimberly's weird head.
Yeah.
So what's weird about Kimberly's head?
Just look at it. It's
look
like
at it.
Square.
Well, and look at like the weird things. Like the
Yay for seeing the command center at different times of day. That sky was really cool looking.
So what do you think about the command center?
I love it. I love it. I've always, now some of that is just nostalgia. I've always really liked it a lot. Tell me if you agree with this, DJ. This feels like the precursor for the set for the bridge on Space. I
can see that, especially the railings and the platform.
Like they're looking right now at what Star Trek's doing in Next Generation, and then Space is looking at Voyager real hard. And this feels very Star Trek. See, if he did have those extender arms, maybe he would have had a chance. But
yeah, he could have fought him really well. He trained the Power Rangers after all.
So you can only get into the command center unless you have a power coin, or you can get through the cracks.
Yeah.
Like you'd think that there would be some kind of security against that. Like if I were Zordon, I would use some of my power to have like a force field around the command center, especially if I knew something was trying to get through the door. Maybe turn on some shields or something.
Why is he the Rita? It's an egg instead of a dumpster.
Yeah.
And Zordon's the one who sent him into space, or I mean, in the sewer.
No, that's true. He pretty much is just a more competent Rita Repulsive.
The Black Plague. This is a great list, by the way.
Yeah, and then it's going to be the Brady Bunch reunion. Now, my question is, how does he know about any of that stuff? Was he able to like perceive things while he was in the egg?
Okay. This is Green Ranger.
If that's true, then the Rangers are really inhumane if they like left him conscious while he was sitting there for 10,000 years.
They just gave him a TV, and get something to do.
He has a viewing globe. They gave him one of. There used to be 2 viewing globes. They gave one to him.
But see, that's also real consistent with the show, where any magical beings can conveniently know and be able to see anything you want them to, that they're not actually, present for.
I always felt really bad for Billy as a kid right there. I don't know why. Because he's like freaked out and then it was just nothing. Man, that looks like Michael Myers right there. That's terrifying.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far, but sure. DJ's putting himself back in the place and time. He's trying to be a kid again, watching this. Oh my God, it's so scary. Jason, are you scared? I'm your age right now.
No, I'm not. I'm not scared. I'm just, the light is bright.
So yeah, we should talk about them getting their own weapons and abilities.
Go ahead, DJ.
I mean, hers is kind of dumb. It's just like a flashlight.
Yeah,
he gets like this cool visor thing that actually does something.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird that they wouldn't all have that. Like, what's stopping you, Zordon, from making everybody RoboCop? Like,
wait a minute.
Now, I guess you could say that about any weapons, but like a thing, if it's built into the helmet, why not just give them all of that? That strikes me as like blasters. That would be like if you only gave one person They all have flashlight, or does only just the only one that has flashlight. Okay, that's dumb.
Because she has those eyes on her head. I don't know.
And then Kimberly's like stinger thing is also kind of dumb. It's just sort of a taser on a line.
It's like a whip, yeah. And then Billy has the dumbest, which is just like a weird grappling hook thing.
Everybody's coming up with different things to compare RoboCop Rocky to. I said RoboCop, but the cinematographic said Cyclops. David Crabtree says Knight Rider.
So, I think this was Adam. Adam was like, "Talk to me, Rocco."
Yep.
Why did he turn into that guy from Rocky?
Is he Polly now?
Yeah.
So everybody enjoy this scene with the Rangers wearing costumes because it'll be a while before we get back to this. I remember in the theater it being kind of a big deal that this was at night because you didn't see a lot of that.
That one's kind of gross.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the one where it's like splat and there's just like chunks hanging on the wall.
It was a pole.
They talked about that a little in the book about how you didn't want to be too violent.
Whoa.
That was a cool. I don't even know how they did that.
Could you imagine if they took out the mask pieces? And they almost did that. We read about that.
Yeah, that was the plan. They wanted to show more expressions in their face.
And then in the 2017 movie, they went off and did it. And I think for the same kind of logic, where it's like, well, people aren't going to accept, protagonists in full face masks and not being able to see their faces. It's not about star power because none of those kids were really famous. And they're not. I mean, amusingly, some of these kids actually are more famous at this time than those kids were, because that show was so big, right?
What that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't work
Roger
good.
Rabbit.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But anyway,
Dragon Stinger or something Stinger.
but I think it's weird, and I also think that's part of the logic of just having most of the 2017 movie be about their figuring out how to morph in the first place. Where
It
it's
just
like,
got in the camera.
we don't know how to do a movie where our characters are wearing full face masks the whole time. I think that's weird in a post Spider-Man world.
Also,
come up with excuses to take his mask off all the time.
It's very weird because they went Iron Man with the suits. You can just show their face in the HUD like we always show Iron Man.
That's a great point.
I don't know what you can show them.
Yeah, why do you have to take the part of the mask off? They don't even take it all down. It's just like that. That
was the gross
face
one,
mask part.
This always bothered me where she just like floats. Whenever the wires are really obvious,
You can tell it's on wires.
Yeah.
Where it's just crouching tiger.
Well, that time it's a stinger thing, but
I also think it's weird when you're getting hit by these goo guys like in the chest, but you're obviously wearing plastic, but you're pretending like it hurts, like if I just punched you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these suits. So I thought these suits were absolutely awesome when I was a kid.
Me too.
That was weird. But I saw one
That cuts
actual suit that was used in at Disney, at Hollywood Studios, and it looks terrible. And now I can't unsee it. It looks terrible in person. And
that's fair. It doesn't kill it for the movie for me, at least when it's in the right kind of light. Like I think at night these look great.
Yeah, it has to be at night because it's just like plastic. It's kind of like what we do with superheroes all the time, where you have to add a bunch of weird pieces like on their.
Give it a lot of texture, give it a bunch of pointless lines, little holes in random places.
Yeah, the shoulder pads and the it's weird. But yeah, they look good. I'm almost positive that's why they shot this at night, because it would not have looked great.
When I was a kid, I thought these suits were 1,000 times cooler than the TV show, and I think a lot of it was just, oh cool, it's not spandex. Like the armor thing back then was real novel, and I liked the way the light hit them. They just looked real sleek. And then the thing that the big thing that they have over, I know I keep comparing these, the big thing those suits have over the 2017 suits is they're toyetic. They look better as action figures than they do in this movie. And they made them, with the figures, they made them look real glossy. And that's how I always remember it in the movie. But that's not really what they look like here.
Yeah, they look a lot more like foam rubbery.
Yeah, they've got this real metallic look to them with the action figures. It's great. David says, I hate holes in random places. So this is the biggest, arguably maybe, DJ, the biggest departure from the show, that Zordon, if you bust up his tube, he's physically present.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here.
It's very Kryptonian.
Yes. That's just what I was going to say. Yeah, he's Jarrell, and he's laying in a bed of crystals, which looks real comfortable.
Well, he looks like an engineer from Prometheus. Just
He does, doesn't he?
he looks exactly like him. Sure,
yelling at him will help.
I know, he's right there. Why are you screaming at him?
I'm not in a tube anymore. There's nothing blocking the sound now. So the question is, does this actually go against the idea that Zordon was in another dimension? Because I guess you could make the argument like somehow that maybe like he's tethered, and so if you bust up the command center, he like materializes here as opposed to wherever he was. That's the best I can come up with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you thought more about it in that last couple minutes than they did.
DJ's like, I don't even want to.
I don't think they
Aisha
gave it much thought.
Wait, he's taller than Aisha?
Yeah, he's taller than Aisha.
He's a little tall and lanky.
He's taller than Kimberly. Whoa, that close-up was bad.
Wait, so
he's got like burnt black stuff on his.
I was going to say no. I think they're panels that came off. You can see the circuitry.
Well, I mean, like in the center, there's like that burnt black.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I'm pretty sure those things on the sides of his head were covered up earlier. So, but we didn't really see Ivanus go after him. But somehow he got real beat up and hurt.
So since it's Morphin Mania, we should talk about the new teleportation effects.
Yes, that's important. We have to do that. They look fine.
Rita and Zed had a weird one.
Or you know.
That's what it was.
I'm the person that's made that joke, but I love what the palace looks like.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I can't believe they built this set though. For like,
oh, I love it. So look at it. It looks amazing. Oh, look, the door opens as a Z, and there's so much stuff going on behind it. Oh, I wish they could have kept using this. It's gorgeous.
That would be an awesome ride.
It's sad that, it's sad that we're not using the Zed music here, because I just really want to see this with darn, darn, darn.
That was so similar to X-Men.
They're going to rip that off in 5 years.
Where Toad shoots that nasty stuff at Jean.
And see, this is the way the dry ice wanted to be used in the Dark Dimension. It looks great here.
He's great. Like, wouldn't it be great if we had these two at each other's throats?
And he calls himself the Boogeyman. Like, no, he's just Freddy Krueger. Sorry, what?
Wouldn't it be great if we had Zed and these two guys at each other's throats the whole movie instead of just taking out Zed immediately?
Oh, it would have been wonderful if you had like a 3-pronged war.
Yeah, because Zed's the straight man at this point. Before he's been.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
That's also a very Freddy Krueger thing to do.
It's like a crappy like $2 snow globe from a gas station. It's not even like a nice full snow globe. It's like a half.
They don't deserve that.
With like a plastic bottom.
Yeah. Goldar is awful.
Yeah, he looks like plastic. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like matte plastic. It's not shiny.
Like, I can gripe about Zed's design because it's different, but like they tried to make something that was more cinematic worthy. Goldar looks worse here than he does in the show.
Yeah, you could say
quality wise, as far as the outfit goes, I can't say Zed looks worse than the show. I don't like it in some ways as well. Goldar looks cheaper.
I don't understand that because the pig guy doesn't look that bad. He looks like he's wearing metal stuff. Kind of.
Goldar, although is also like Zed, and that's a design that there's really no reason to mess with. And they didn't do too much to Rita. It's a little different, but they didn't go crazy.
At least she's not wearing the purple outfit from the stage show.
We did just watch another thing that used different suits for those characters. That was the worst thing ever, except for the balloon. So yeah, Jason, here they're Tengu warriors.
So he made them from ooze in this.
Yeah, but they don't have ooze powers like his ooze minions. Why would you do that? Wouldn't it be more helpful to have beings that could shapeshift?
Yeah.
Why would you want like crows. And I always wondered how much of some of the stuff in this movie is just we're setting up what we want to do for the third season. And then it's not even going to be canonical with this movie. So we're going to have to redo this story longer in the show. But like, did they do the Tenga thing just because that's what they were going to do for third season? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they hadn't even, I don't know, because this was written so early. It's hard to tell.
But we know they were pulling from that Sentai. So they were thinking that far ahead, where they were like, well, we're going to do that Megazord and the ninja thing and those powers because.
But I think the Tengus are all American.
That's us. Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
So I don't know.
That's the big thing I don't get. But I'm just saying they had to have had some idea of things they were going to do for season 3.
So as a kid, this is immediately cool. Like, we're on another planet, different species of like some kind of warrior dude. Actually dead. Someone actually is like, this is a big deal for Power Rangers. It doesn't go anywhere, but this is a cool way to set it.
Yeah, and then Dulcia says, like, so many have perished trying to get the great power.
But all 6 of you will make it.
From my snow globe point earlier, David Crabtree says, but Freddy Krueger would then crush the snow globe. That's true. Back Studios, $2 super chat. That's a good question. Do you think Ivan Ooze will be part of the Hasbro reboot? No, because from everything we've read so far, well, he could show up, sure. From everything we've heard so far, it's not going to be a reboot. They're actually going to make a sequel to that movie. That's what we've been told so far. We'll see if that's what actually happens. DJ, it is in vogue to go to things people are familiar with and things that have worked in the past. Yeah. So I don't think Ivan Ooze is off the table.
I don't either. I think that's a great point. Everybody knows Ivan Ooze. That's the one thing you can remember from this movie.
Look at how intricate the work on the costume is. I never noticed all that stuff going on in his arms.
Yeah, this is a nice high quality version that we're looking at.
But like, look at all the lines and stuff and all the textures on that costume. In some ways, it's like Shinzon before Shinzon. It's weird. Yes, Tom Hardy is Ivan Ooze. Let's do that.
He'd probably love it. He would Venom it up, Eddie Brock it up.
I think Tom Hardy could play this part. That's not what I would want, though. I would want another like big Shakespearean actor.
Yeah. You would want ideally Patrick Stewart, a younger Patrick Stewart.
A younger Patrick Stewart would have been great for this role. I don't think he's perfect. I'm trying to think. There's got to be
McAvoy.
Well, that's my go-to for everything. McAvoy would be amazing. But it needs to be somebody a little bit older, right? Like it needs to be like somebody in their 50s, probably.
Yeah, maybe. 40. I mean, he got all that makeup on. You can't really tell anyway.
No, but I mean, like, he's clearly a middle-aged guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been locked up for 10,000 years.
I mean, the actor. Not that you can't go your own way with it, do something different, but
teenage Ivan Ooze.
Teenage
Ivy Ooze.
Sounds like me.
Wow, we have to have Kimberly scream, even though she's one of the.
That's a great point. I'm a Power Ranger, but I'm also a girl. Conflict. Well, she doesn't have powers right now, DJ.
So the way that the Tangas fly in this is amazing. They have like this giant crane rig with like 10 of them up there at once, and they're like 500 feet in the air. It's really cool.
Yeah, they couldn't CG this at the time, and so it looks better than some things that do CG that kind of thing.
Dad.
Yeah, I see that. Jason is showing me a picture of that rig, which I'm not going to put on camera right now because it's small enough to be hard to look at. But Bill, you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck? Ah! There are some kind of sloppy cuts in the edit here.
I wonder if it's because they have to cut around stunt doubles and stuff.
I think that's exactly what's going on, yeah.
Adam, we need our powers.
Hey, thanks, Adam. We get it, dude. This is really hard to do without the vague abilities we have when we're wearing costumes.
Was that always weird to you? Did she make that weird bird sound?
Yes.
Because she came right when she came up, she was like, "Arr!" And then the bird dropped her. I could never tell if it was supposed to be the Tengu or her.
So that's fair. The world will never know.
Like the Zeo Gold Ranger.
Yes,
like
she's just like that.
The first appearance.
There's actually three personalities of Dulcia. Right now, they're all in the same body, but no, I'm kidding. So I always, when I was a kid, I thought Dulcia was awesome. She's got this presence that you didn't get from a lot of characters in Power Rangers. She actually whacks Tommy, which just makes her seem like really badass.
Yeah, I always preferred Ninjor as a kid. Maybe I was a weird kid, but
I was disappointed when I was a kid that we got to Ninjor and it wasn't Dulcia. I'm like, oh, we got to deal with this guy who talks like Marvin Martian.
Yeah. This, she hits rock.
Really cool, tall. Yeah, but she's gonna take Tommy down and get the stick on his chest. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. So as we were reading, we found out this is more complicated than I thought. I thought it was the actress couldn't do it, so they got her, but she was the one that couldn't do it. They replaced her, shot a bunch of scenes.
Didn't like what she was doing.
Didn't like her. She wasn't fitting, so they had to reshoot the rest of it with the original actress, which was her. She was able to come back. They moved the schedule around.
The book says that the actress they tried to replace her with, and I've never heard of that happening in a movie, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Imagine if the whole Catwoman thing had switched again and it went from Michelle Pfeiffer back to the original girl in Batman Returns.
Well, actually, the whole deal was Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale, yeah, sorry.
You're conflating that because the actress that was almost Vicky Vale tried to be Catwoman and they didn't cast her.
Okay, yeah.
That was the story with that. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking that too, of course. But yeah, what's weird is they said that she was that the actress they tried to replace her with was like too stolid and stoic,
which I don't understand at all because that's exactly what this one is.
I know. Maybe she just didn't have any sense of compassion when they get to the scene where she gives them their powers. I don't know. Maybe so.
But I've seen like the photos, the set photos, and she's got this giant grin on her face. So I don't understand.
Weird.
Well, he looks even more older now.
Well, that's because he's deteriorating. Yeah.
That's a nice touch, though. They've made him more shrivelly since the last time we've seen him. He looks like Raisin Head. Kimberly?
No, there's real production value in this movie. But yeah, of course, because Dulcia is an alien,
my favorite part.
And she's like a mentor type character. She's got to have an English accent. We've got a lot of, we keep calling back to Star Trek. There's a lot of Superman in this too, not just with the crystals and with Zordon, but also with her. That's real, like oh, it's alien, so it's got to be British.
Well, yeah. Everyone on other planets speaks in a British accent, and everyone in the past.
And what's funny is they're shooting in Australia. They could have gone with an Australian accent. Maybe I'm wrong, and that is an Australian accent, but it sounds British to me.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really hear.
But yeah, I like her a lot. She and Ivan Ooze are the two like real actors in this movie.
Yeah, they really.
Zordon's fine. Don't get me wrong, but
no, they really elevate it to a level that's a little higher than. I mean, they don't save it or anything.
You're better than her.
One of the things I complained about back in the day with the Rewind is we have to constantly keep the film running until all 6 characters have walked off frame.
Yeah, we see a lot of walking. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is like this.
So in the original script, it said that they were originally going to planet hop.
Yes.
Which would have been really cool.
It would have been. But this was already kind of a big deal because, yeah, we went to other planets of the show, but only for like 5 minutes. And
yeah, we went to that one that just like exploded
constantly with Serpentera.
Yeah.
And then a couple episodes later, we did the same thing, but it was parts of Earth, apparently.
Yeah, and it was the same footage. But yeah, planet hopping would have been really cool. But this is still a cool planet. Phaedos. I like Phaedos.
It's funny because it's boring, how long we go without the Rangers being in costume or doing anything. And it's, I got to stop for a second. So this is that They Might Be Giant song?
Yeah,
this is sitting around?
That's crazy.
It's just playing on his radio. He's listening to college radio. There's no other explanation.
But maybe he has the CD. He's a big fan.
But I'm pretty sure that wasn't available anywhere until this movie. So he has the soundtrack for this movie.
Well, that'll happen later too. I think, don't we play during the credits?
Don't we play what?
So I never noticed this until someone pointed out in a video that I watched.
Yeah.
This plan makes no sense. How is he counting on all of the parents touching their kid's toy at the same time and coming to him?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Why are they all at the same time? They all said, "Oh, what's this?" and all touched went into their children's stuff and just pulled it out and all over their hands.
Yeah, and how could he be sure that many of the kids would take it?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess ultimately they do, but
it's just so weird that even if he could get it into their hands, he can't guarantee that their parents are going to touch it.
Also, what's the point of the wizard disguise? Why not just wear what you're wearing? Like, he changes his makeup slightly, where now he's got a beard and stuff. Why does he do that? Because he could just appear as he could just say, "I'm a wizard guy. I'm wearing a costume," and no one would be freaked out by his face. Just because he has a monster face?
Oh, this.
Yeah, well, I guess
I would argue the wizard face is scarier. Sorry, what?
I mean, he's supposed to be a lot scarier than he actually is, I assume. But
Adam is hilarious in this scene.
Yeah, everybody likes this scene because Adam has the only bit of personality that anyone on the Ranger team has this whole movie,
which is in right in stride with the show.
That's exactly right. Yep.
And this is his first thing. He had just started, and he's already getting stuff. That's
a good point. Yeah.
I don't know why they immediately just gravitated towards him. You'd think Tommy would get. He steals everything else. But this is an interesting score. Not very Power Rangers-y.
No, it's because we're making a fantasy epic. No, this sounds like I know I referenced this a lot. This sounds like Neverending Story.
I can see that. So this came out of nowhere. When you're seeing the movie for the first time, and they never mention anything about ninjas, and all of a sudden she says, "Here's the great power," and they just turn into ninjas.
That's not true. There's mention of the ninjetti and all of that. You already, if you're paying attention, you already have a sense that there's a ninja motif that's gonna happen. But you're right. It is weird that they've got a mid-morph. That baffled me in the theater. I was like, why are they wearing these? And
especially at this point where Power Rangers weren't known for changing all the time. It was that's the suit of the Power Rangers.
No, and it probably, I mean, certainly, especially for anybody that has never seen this movie, going back to it, but knows anything about Power Rangers, would probably think oh, okay, we got to waste an entire movie getting new powers. But this was novel at the time.
Yeah.
Because we had never done that before. The one you kiss.
We missed the line.
No, I said it while he was saying it.
I missed his sad line though.
I also I'm a fraud. I also like the idea. I have this a little bit like Batman in 60s Batman and Chief O'Hara. I think Dulcia secretly hates Tommy for some reason.
Which makes me like her a lot.
Me too. Because every time she walks over to him, she's got this scowl on his face. You think you're the big, or on her face. You think you're the big man on campus.
She just knocks him down. But she likes Adam because he's the one that we all love.
I think Adam should really be leading this team. He's got heart and more than one dimension, maybe.
So we should mention this he didn't make it into the movie, but she has a blue elephant sidekick named Snoggle. Which
what? You know how glad I am that's not here?
Yeah, there's a sketch of him here, and you can look up
I missed that.
You can look up the screenshots. the set photos of him, and it's clear why they didn't put him in, because he does not look good.
And it would take away all of the like mystique about her.
Yeah, it's like her pet / it says right here, Dulcia's pet and helper, Snoggle.
Oh, that would have been awful. And like, what would she need a pet for?
I don't know what he would have done.
Yeah, because like she just stands around and occasionally deals with people trying to get the great power. I honestly don't totally know what the point of her is until someone is actually worthy. Like, why doesn't she just hang out in the background and just appear when someone is actually worthy?
Well, I mean, they didn't have to do anything to be worthy to get to her. Like, the only thing they had to fight was the Tengus, and those weren't even supposed to be there.
Okay, but then
does she give everyone the ninja suits and then send them off? And then why did that guy die there? There was no threats on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like the only reason she gives them the ninja suits.
He's so bad at ballet.
Jason's a dancer.
There's the shot with the giant crane. That's so cool.
They actually have a crane above that. It looks great because it's really there.
And
you'd never shoot it like that now.
And a tribute to the flying monkeys in Wizard of Oz, the director says.
Jason, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know why that guy died on that planet, because there was no threats there.
Well, the only reason she even gives them the time of day is because because they mentioned Zordon.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, does she usually kill people before they get? Is that what's going on?
Well, I think
he's like whacking them with sticks and stuff.
I think what happened is that, like, Minotaur guy, he was just on that planet looking for the power the whole time until he died of starvation because he couldn't find it because Dulcia didn't help him.
But then why didn't she walk up to him and be like, "What are you doing here?" Because that's what she does with the Power Rangers, and she's flying around as like a bird all the time. It's not like she would have missed him.
And she saved them before she knew they were with Zordon.
I don't understand. Yeah, that's true. She's like, there's these stupid birds on my planet that aren't supposed to be here.
Man, I didn't realize he killed them all right there. I forgot about that. They're not in the movie anymore?
So why? Nope, that's it. So why is there a ticking time bomb on Ivan Ooze's side? He's like, my ectomorphicon robots must be on Earth by sundown. What? Why?
Is it Halley's Comet or something?
Oh, that's right. There was something with okay.
I don't know what that does. I don't know if that gives him extra power or something. But yeah, there's
always something with stars aligning or
once every 15 years or whatever.
Cosmic event.
How does
it has a lot of presence. I wish we did more with her.
Tommy just says it's time. Like,
okay,
what are we waiting for? Like, there's something vaguely cultish about all of this.
Yeah, were they supposed to be meditating or something? Because they weren't.
Yeah.
Looking off into the big Ant-Man thing.
It's like a lot of things with the Power Rangers. We're supposed to be filling in all the stuff that the movie's not giving us.
It looks beautiful. Like, they obviously shot this in a real jungle.
Yeah. Well, they had a lot to work with. They were in Australia.
So, I know that this game that I'm going to talk about was released 20 years later, but that planet looked like the Ruin Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey.
Sure.
All comes back to this movie.
It was really influential, this movie. This kid's not bad.
No, he's fine.
As far as child actors go. Power Rangers takes the unnecessary risk a lot of having child actors, having children have to carry an episode.
At least it's his actual voice coming out of his face.
That's a really good point.
Uncharacteristic for Power Rangers. So the most upsetting thing that I read in this chapter was that the writer of the script wanted to introduce conflict between the Rangers, and Saban told him that they could not.
Yes.
Saban said that the Rangers are best known for their friendship.
Yep.
So that means you can't have conflict?
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of people. You have conflict still. It's not
No, it's exactly the same thing as that we have with Gene Roddenberry and Star Trek: The Next Generation. In the future, everybody gets along, and if you're a Power Ranger, the reason you're able to get the powers is because you get along, and you never argue with anybody. You don't have any problems.
At least there's a conceit where it's like everybody. This is just these 6 people never have conflict. They're just perfect.
And what that ends up doing, I mean, I still think even if you had that mandate, you could come up with a way to separate your characters more and give them different character traits and make them different people.
How does that look like a graveyard?
It's like a dinosaur graveyard. That's why it's graveyard. It's not actually, with graves.
Oh, and we're about to actually get the Jurassic Park.
And then he says Jurassic Park.
But this came out like 2 years. I guess it was 2 years. I was going to say it's right after that. That must have been thrown in at a later time. Which
is interesting because Jurassic Park, I've always thought, has a lot to do with why Power Rangers is so popular. Because dinosaurs were just huge.
So this was smart. This is cool that they did an actual giant puppet here instead of what they do at the end.
What the?
Yeah, that's a great point, Grimdeath. I always felt that way too. If Zordon's time really is running out, stop with the walking montages. Like, we got a ticking time bomb. Zordon's in trouble. And Tommy's like, let's sit around and look at the beautiful matte painting behind.
Yeah, why were they standing there?
I don't know.
And why are they not moving with haste? They're just
they had to psych themselves out. Yeah, there's no sense of urgency. And that's a problem with a thing like this. But what I was going to say earlier is, even if, and like, that is tying your hands behind your back because stories are about conflict, obviously. And it's, the way Saban put it is a really dumb cop-out where it's like, so all the conflict has to be with the villain. Like, you can have, ideological problems with the villain, you can fight the villain, but you can't fight yourself. Well, yes, of course, it's the bad guy. Like, that's not inherently interesting. Characters shouldn't only be defined by flaws and angry arguments they have with their friends. You don't want you don't want to just force a lot of bad drama or whatever. But at the same time, I still think you could have made them more interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
That is.
At the same time, this is very. It's kind of a journey plot. So I don't know where you would fit it in at this point. They're just literally going from place to place like a video game, doing challenges. Unless you have one of the Rangers trying to lead or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the argument would have been exactly, but that's also probably part of why this is the story they went with, right? Like when it was more of a planet hopping thing where it's like we've got to go on a journey, like a series of missions.
Yeah, when you're stuck with them the same six people for a long time, of course there's going to be conflict.
Yeah, because all you have here are just a few token fights with creatures.
Mm-hmm.
The way you would have had some kind of conflict would be you get into some different ethical conundrums because of different scenarios you get into.
Yeah. I mean, when they save Snoggle,
so you can save Zordon or you can save Snoggle. It's a distinct choice. Snoggle. Thank God that's not there.
There's a lot of dumb names in here that don't actually get mentioned. Like I said, the Oozlets. I'm glad they don't mention that. Later on, we'll find out that one of his monsters is named the Horn. What was it? I wrote it down. I'm gonna find it.
You took notes?
It's called the Hornator.
Oh yeah.
The one that he combines with is called the Hornator.
Was never in the movie.
Thank goodness.
So as I've talked about a million times, I don't actually know what Ivan Ooze is trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
At some points, it sounds like he wants to blow up the world. At other points, it sounds like he wants to run it. He says it's difficult to find somebody to run the world for you, but that's not what he wants to do because he wants to destroy it.
So what is the
big moment? He gets to turn a thing.
Yeah, what is the story with this pig guy? Let's try to figure him out. He's got a monocle, which makes him look classy, but he's got a long ponytail, which makes him look kind of like a hippie. I don't know. I don't know what he is.
You have given more thought to this pig than I have, because I was just dismissed it. Where I'm like, that doesn't belong.
And why does he have a monocle?
What is this bug guy?
Yeah, I really think that we're just in like one step over in the multiverse to another dimension where he is both Squat and Babu.
Ah, that's weird and creepy.
Yep. This is trying to get us all ready for the really bad CG we're going to have to deal with in the big fight at the end. It looks better before they start doing a lot of moving.
Yeah, they don't look terrible there. I mean, for the time, because they're just standing there.
It's gonna be bad, you guys.
Were those dinosaurs really bad CG?
No, the dinosaurs were made.
No, sorry, you mentioned the dinosaur. Yeah, that was and those were life size. They're not models.
Yeah, that was a giant puppet that had like 6 people working it, and they just took like 2 days to shoot the whole scene. That was,
and it's cool.
Yeah, it's a short little like mini boss before they get to the.
That's the thing. It feels very video game. Oh, look, and then they all pose for a picture.
They're all looking in different horizon lines.
Yes, exactly.
They're literally all just looking around.
That's trailer fodder.
Yeah,
and there's no real character arc here. They win because they're the heroes. Their hearts are in the right place because they're the heroes. That's why they're worthy of the bet. They win and get the power because they're supposed to. And again, I don't mean to put this on a different level as the show, except some of the writers that were pitching scripts wanted it to be a real movie. And it's really sad that Saban didn't allow that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Roger Ebert didn't give it and gave it half a star. Didn't get it and gave it half a star.
Well, could you imagine being his age and not have seen any of the show?
No, you have no idea what you were looking at.
This would be the worst.
Yeah, this is a good Power Rangers movie, or it's good like big budget Power Rangers episode. It's a terrible movie. It's not a good movie.
Kimberly's very screamy in this,
and you see all the potential. Like the production. Again, I've said this before, but the production values are here, and they've got some major powerhouses in the technical side working on this.
Yeah, the prosthetics look great. The costuming, they got the same stunt double. Jeff Pruitt from the show was able to be the same stunt coordinator, and he said he got the same stunt doubles for the actors because he wanted to keep the movements consistent, which is really cool that they went through all that trouble. But I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
And then they said they had a whole Japanese stunt team that did the tangas because they had. The book said they had flying experience. What does that mean?
I don't know. I like flying kicks or something. I don't know. Oh, maybe wire work.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably what that means. That felt like a shorthand that I don't know because I'm not in the business.
Yeah.
That's either shorthand or ignorant writing, but I think it's shorthand.
Hope so.
It read like they knew what they were talking about, but I did not.
So this is a really cool set. I like this set. It's a good place to shoot a fight scene. There's an actual waterfall that empties to a tank, which is cool.
Yeah, they built this on the studio's biggest soundstage in Australia. There's Aisha's trademark claw.
Has that ever happened to you before?
Sorry, what?
Has that ever happened to you before? You're climbing and you grab a vine and it breaks and you fall? That has absolutely happened to me before. Not even kidding.
I mean, that's probably happened to me. I don't know.
It's actually on YouTube. It's a fail video that I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Hang on, Rocco.
Yeah, they forgot his nickname for him. Man, Adam is with the quips. It's like a Joss Whedon Adam.
That's really funny. Now, when you said earlier that the Rangers don't do as much one-liners as they do in that, I don't know if I agree with that. Like
in the show, they don't do it as often as this. It's like everything they say.
Well, that's because they don't have scenes where they talk to each other in this.
That's true.
When they're fighting, they do a lot. They don't do it as often in like putty fights, but they do a lot in costume. And so I guess the only difference is that you were seeing them do it at the beginning in a glorified putty fight.
That's true. Maybe I'm not right about that, but it seems crazy. It seems like it's escalated in this.
I also had these action figures with the Midmorph.
So Tommy watched Snow White. About to do the Snow White move.
Thomas says I'm right that the flying thing means wireward.
Yeah. So they just like brutally just like demolish these guys.
Well, they're monsters. They're used to killing monsters.
Yeah,
they're actually kind of surprised they didn't explode.
Yeah, they don't blow up and like disintegrate though. These ones are just like dead.
Yeah, they do look like undead creatures. These are creepier than your average Power Ranger thing. And you know, somebody earlier said, who's this movie for? I think that is a somewhat fair question.
Because
I asked that question more with the 2017 movie, but with this, like, yeah, that's nuts.
What the?
And it looks as good as it could back then.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen that look better, really. Like, how can you do that? Have you ever seen someone get split in half?
Like, for the most part, this is appealing to exactly the audience with the TV show and is not that far off, especially, you know, in its storytelling sensibilities or lack thereof. But there are places where it seems like it's trying to be a little bit more hard-edged. And it's like, okay, are you trying to give a little something morsel to the adults in the audience, or is it, as I suspect, just that it's watered down from what would have been a more sophisticated movie in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it when I was a kid. It's not too far off from the show, but you're right. It is a little. There's some scenes that are, like I said, that one scene where the ooze guy like splatted against the wall.
And then you have a dead guy on the planet, and those things look scary. And Dulcia's actually hitting our characters with sticks.
Yeah, where our characters aren't even allowed to hit anyone except for Mark. It's like a weird Illuminati pyramid thing coming out.
I just think in '95, a couple. This is gonna sound kind of hyperbolic, but in '95, only a couple years after the show started, there was especially this being out of continuity and being able to do anything it wanted to without affecting the show. It had the chance of proving that this mythology could be used with a sophisticated story like I've been waiting for 25 years. Could have been done all the way back then. Could have been done, DJ.
It could have, and it seems like some of the script writers wanted to go that way, but
they were trying. Yeah. Now I don't know how I feel about Ivan Ooze being like super dead serious, like the initial script that he was in, because this was apparently a conglomeration of two different scripts, and the first guy like joked him up, but I like him funny. Like I think you can do both. Like he'd be scary and funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, like you, well, I was going to make a reference too, but so this is where we start the weird thing in season 3, where we have the ninja suits, but then we have also these suits still.
Right.
I don't know why they felt the need to do that, especially since all the ninja stuff is our stuff. So like, why didn't they just keep the same suits if they were going to keep them anyway? I love the ninja suits. I'm glad they did it that way, but I don't know why we still need.
Well, I feel like this movie was popular enough that they wanted to keep using stuff from it. So they do the mid-morph suits because they were in this.
But by the way, I like the TV show suits way better than the ones in this. The ones that cover the whole face.
Yeah, me too.
Just the mouth mask and the headband, which looks weird.
Oh, you mean you like the ones that cover the whole face better?
I like them a lot better.
Oh, I don't. I like these ones better.
Interesting. The headband just looks weird to me. I like the full ninja mask. It's like
that's
wrapped.
fair. I think some of it is probably, again, kind of a nostalgia thing, just what I saw first. Because when season 3 started, I was like, oh, that looks weird. Why are we doing that?
Oh, okay. Well, I love that it's not just a thing that you could put on. Like it's like wrapped around your head. Like it wouldn't be just something you could just pop on. So they actually have to morph into it.
Hey, DJ, it was really nice of Fox to let us watch this movie early. I can't wait until the effects are done.
It's like a X-Men Origins type thing. Did you watch that, by the way? The leaked version of X-Men Origins?
I didn't.
No effects?
But I've seen the real movie, and it's still not done.
That's true.
Oh, look, it's the more you know, but backwards. I like Ivan Ooze's theme a lot.
I like that Goldar's just hanging. Like, I like that he keeps Goldar hanging out with them. Like, everybody likes Goldar. Goldar hangs out with Rita. He goes with Zed. Ivan Ooze tolerates him.
If you're really good, I'll replace those wings with ones that shapeshift.
I'll give you an actual good-looking costume.
Okay, I'm going to say it. The end of the 05 Fantastic Four movie looks like this.
Shot right there in that square.
They shot the same way. Like, Dr. Doom's about to pop out and start fighting the Power Rangers.
But this fight is like twice as long as that fight.
Yes.
That fight
and
is
probably better.
Yeah, they do one
the crappy CG.
Each one does one token thing with their power in that movie, and then he's just frozen.
So this is a mix of CG and model work, because they didn't have the ability to CG all of this, and they didn't have the ability to CG what they CG either. So even though none of the CG stuff looks like it's really there, it's better than if they had attempted all of it, because you basically just be watching a cartoon, except for when we cut to the Rangers.
Yeah, well, pretty much like what the later seasons do with the Megazord fights.
Yes, exactly.
So this is kind of cool. First time we get
gelatinous Zords.
New Zords.
They look like they're made of Jello, with like energy flowing through them.
Now I had this Megazord. It was really cool.
From the movie specifically, or
I think it was from the show.
TV
I think it was the show version. Yeah.
Did the movie make a full Megazord? I can't even remember.
It may have made. I don't know.
I had the ones from McDonald's. Those were cool.
Do you still have those?
A couple somewhere maybe. The those words were fun because they had little Power Ranger figures that fit in like a cockpit. It was like on top of them. And then McDonald's also had little plastic morphers that were almost the right size.
Yeah, I remember those.
And they had power coins. They were great.
So what is the point of him having a Falcon Zord to fly if they can all just fly around?
Well, because, DJ, the thing that the other Zords won't do is take the wings and move them in front when they want to shoot missiles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's why you gotta have that.
So this is very reminiscent of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where they're all in the, like, all the foot kids.
That's a great point.
Except they were actually, like, smoking cigars.
Oh, play, have fun. You think this over there and that down there is family?
Yeah, he is kind of the Casey Jones of this movie. He's the Casey Jones and the kid from Ninja Turtles combined.
That's quite a mental picture. Yeah.
Danny. Of course. How could I forget Danny?
Yeah, with the Sid Vicious shirt.
I love that movie.
So do I.
Do you?
It's great.
Have you done a commentary or something on it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I've done quite a bit on that, but I'm not too long from now. I'm going to do a revisited review on that on Superior Rewind.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's not a great review. I got to go back to it.
You did Secret of the Ooze with Dan, right?
I think so. Yeah, and I made him watch 3.
Oh yeah, because Torture Time. Good old time. Good day.
Yeah, we've never finished that series.
Hey, that was not as bad as Alpha's Magical Christmas. Nothing you did on there was as bad as Alpha's Magical Christmas.
I would say a couple episodes of the Turtle Show Saban made get close, but that was a really rough.
So these have cool cockpits.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they just had one and they shot all the Rangers scenes in the same one.
David says these CG effects were pretty consistent with a lot of these kinds of movies at the time, like Spawn, Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's worse here because it comes out of nowhere. I think. I think the issue with this movie is we don't see this all the way through.
Yeah, because the rest looks so good, it really stands out.
It really stands out. Yeah, and also I think we'd already come a long way in just a couple of years between this and Spawn. I think a lot of the effects in Spawn do look better than this. Shoddy compared to now, but I also think they had more like A-list designers working on that movie.
Well, these might not look like they're there, but I'll take these Zord designs over the new movie any day.
Yeah.
They look horrible in the new movie. They don't even move. They're just like, I don't know what they were thinking.
It's maybe I don't know. Some folks are going to complain that we're comparing this with that movie as much as we are, but
yeah, what are you gonna do?
I haven't seen this since that movie, and it's difficult not to think about it.
Wait, Bulk and Skull are in that train.
I think the reason it's yes, because something important is going to happen with that, and so they must be there, so they can pretend like they saved the day. That didn't look so great.
Just so you guys know, I loved the new movie up until that last sword fight, but Cap has been talking to me about it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to ruin it for me.
I'm going to ruin it for you, yeah. And I like a lot of things about that movie, especially conceptually, and performances, and so we'll get to it.
I'm excited to get to it. We're going to do that after season 3, guys.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's going to be the last Mighty Morphin thing we do.
We had talked back and forth about doing it last or doing it in Mighty Morphin era. Is that what we landed on?
Yeah, we landed on the last thing before Zeo. Well, we can still. I mean, we got time. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think the reason it's difficult not to compare them is because anything I find in this movie that I think is kind of better than that movie is weird in my brain. I have a hard time dealing with
it. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Zordon is such
he's the skull to Ivanus's Bulk right now.
Yeah, he's such a yes man. That's why everybody likes him.
That's great.
Yes man. I'm surprised you haven't lost your grip yet. You've been holding on to that thing like for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, here comes the cavalry, because some people really don't like the Ninja Megazord in general. It was one of my favorites growing up.
I love the Ninja Megazord. I love how sleek and thin it is. But I love everything about the Alien Rangers aesthetic, and that's
my favorite.
What's your favorite?
Shogun Megazord.
Shogun's great.
Yeah, and both of those are from the same Sentai as the Alien Rangers, so I just love that whole aesthetic.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Well, the Alien Rangers are Ninja Rangers, right?
Jeffrey says, "Hi, I'm Captain Logan, and this is Captain Logan Ruins Everything."
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to ruin that movie for you.
But there's an actual show called Some Guy Ruins Everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
I do not know what he's talking about, apparently.
Oh, that's... Oh.
What?
Are you reacting because it's weird or because it looks bad?
Because it's weird.
It's weird. I don't mind that effect. It's kind of fun.
It goes right into his back. And this sound he's making is so...
That's the one-liner I can deal with, that I can sympathize with. I'm going to be sick. Yeah, that's gross.
That's like the same... Whoa. What?
It's every line they have. It's everything.
Yeah, that's all they do. They're just they're making a riffing commentary track for their own movie. That's like, all they're doing.
We should have wrote lines for this.
Cinegraphic says this is almost as disturbing as RoboCop 2014. I'm assuming you're referring to the to seeing his heart and his brain.
Okay.
That's jarring because we haven't done anything like that this whole movie, where you've got like the characters in panels.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Megazord.
I'm gonna go fix every problem, and I'll be right back.
So they match this. The only thing that is from the Sentai is this Zord design, which it means they were looking seasons ahead. I guess Sentai was a few ahead of us at the time. Because how did they know this Zord? It must have been because they. This is the Zord from season 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, we would be farther ahead because they kept making Sentais after us, and.
Okay, that looks like a video game. Like that villain. And
you mean like N64 era or PS1?
Yeah, polygon stuff.
PS1 and GameCube.
Yeah. Cinegraphic says Plastic Megazord, Jason 2019. Again, with some Jello thrown in for good measure.
But this is a Superman fan. Yeah. We can't. Just why are we both here?
I don't know. There should be a button one of us presses to turn the other one off because
like walkie-talkies.
That That would be the funniest way to record a commentary. That's just like Superman. I know, right? Beep, beep, DJ, stop the Morse code button, okay? I'm not doing this commentary Morse code. Beep, 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 beep.
Wow, Morse code commentary. That's
I know all the
Be a
numbers
new
in
low.
Morse code, and I know how to say hi.
Maybe Geekvolution shouldn't go past 10 years if they're resorting to Morse code commentaries.
so. This is a cool cockpit too. I like it.
That says, we get it, Tommy, you're cool.
Yeah, where is he? Why is he always not like? Why couldn't he come?
Worse.
What are you saying?
Because you know it was weird. It did that comic panel thing, and they said, "Let's put it together." All 6 of them were there. They all came together except Tommy.
Yeah, because he said, I got to go save these people on this monorail.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He said the monorail.
Yeah. And he's like, he goes, I'll complete the docking sequence later.
Okay.
And then he shows up just as they're all about to die. And then something about him just docking fixes everything.
Does it like add power?
I also complain about that in the rewind. Yeah, I get that's the only thing I can figure.
That just makes the Megazord Superman.
Leap to our doom.
Hail Lord Zed.
Hail Lord Zed. DJ, I gotta say, the last time I saw this movie was like the worst viewing experience I've ever had with this. This might be one of the best viewing experiences.
Yeah, this is really fun. It's
I don't know why I'm really enjoying this, but I think some of it is because I can't help but look at it with the same standards I do with regular Power Ranger episodes because we've been doing nothing but watching that, doing Morphin Mania. That, like, you know, it's like watching the Spawn movie after reading a bunch of Spawn comics. Oh no, this is okay.
Yeah, you just get desensitized.
That's exactly right. Well, if Roger Ebert had been forced to sit down and watch season 1 for 5 days,
yeah, the poor man just needed to do Morphin Mania.
Yeah, and then that movie would have gotten at least 1 star. More exaggerated body movements.
That might be the most convenient thing ever in a movie. Like,
there's this comet coming.
You're counting on a comet, like the most. It takes like 50 years, but it's the exact time.
Well, yeah, but are you right that the comet was also had something to do with why he had to excavate the ectomorphicons?
I don't know, because he's not doing anything with the comet. I guess he just wanted to. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was no reason for that ticking time bomb.
So I want someone to make this Flash game where you just have to like spray the hose to keep the people from going off.
Somebody should make it a retroactive level in Mario Sunshine.
Yes.
Mario takes flood. He's like, psst.
So this is weird. Go Rangers! Yeah, go Rangers! Go!
You know what's funny about that? Their voices are higher pitched because they're small, but we never do that in actual Power Rangers. When characters get tiny, they don't have different voices.
I think Rita, when she was small, had a squeaky voice. If I'm remembering right.
Did she? Because they didn't do it when they made Billy and whoever else small.
Oh no.
Ah! Oh no, we're being attacked by a PS1 game.
This is the worst fight ever, by the way. They're just like hugging.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Break it up.
What is he doing to them? Like just squeezing them to death? Why are they breaking? And of course, it's ended with a knee to the groin. Of all things.
Which I don't want to belabor this, but his ooze is in a robot, so I don't know why that would affect him more than hitting him in any other place.
Why is the emergency button just with like a kick?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the emergency button. It also makes an awooga sound.
It's real cartoony, and even for Power Rangers, it's too stupid that you'd
And
have
of course,
a
as soon as he
button
blows up,
that you had to break like you were going to use a fire extinguisher in order to make a knee kick happen. Like, the only time you'd use that would be to the... That's just the dumbest thing. And the most 90s thing in the movie. Grimdeath says, this is a kid's film, Aisha. See what I'm saying? You'd never do that in Power Rangers.
and of course, as soon as he blows up, the spell wears off. At least
So,
that's consistent.
what did this father or son learn?
I don't know. He wasn't a bad father in the beginning, was he?
No. No, I guess he's learned to control what his son buys.
I shouldn't go through your stuff, buddy. I'm sorry.
And the son is learned to be responsible and not play with things that creepy wizards give him. But he didn't.
Jason David.
Okay.
Wow, that's some acting there, Jason David Frank.
Oh, the poor guy. Well, it didn't hurt him at all. He has a amazing career still.
Okay, so this is weird.
He's got other skills to fall back on, is the thing.
So when you have ninja powers, you can do anything. Yeah, he just said
that's what we learned. Yep, that's the big thing they learned is, well, they have more powers, so...
No, you can do anything.
Exactly. Yep. See my rewind for a silly corporate analysis of this. I won't belabor that again here. I've talked about that a lot. And now it's time for lots of reverse footage.
Is that how they put it back together in the show too? When Green Ranger breaks it?
No.
I know he doesn't.
I don't remember if they do reverse footage with that. Maybe. Well, at least it took this long. We lost the rabbit room again. Yeah. So we'll explain to DJ what's happening on screen.
See if I can remember it.
I'm trying to reload this now, but we've only got a few minutes left, so we'll write it out here while I'm watching the magic and all the Disney sparkles.
Their power just...
Zordon is back, everyone.
He's in his tube again. Maybe in another dimension.
Everyone
I don't
is
know.
Freaking out.
So this is where Guardians of the Galaxy got it from, when they just put their hands together.
Yes.
And fix everything.
And Zordon's just affectionately like, I love you, Rangers. You're the best. We have a great bond. You won because you've got powers I sent you after.
Power.
Yeah. I've got the power.
Yeah, I remember that.
Distinction of being in this and Bruce Almighty.
Once I had to do a dance to that song.
Thomas wants to know if they found a Krispy Kreme. No, actually, they found a redressed McDonald's.
Yeah, and that's Ernie's juice bar in this, yeah.
Yeah. Except I never knew if it was really supposed to be Ernie's juice bar or not, because Ernie's not there.
I never thought it was Ernie's juice bar when I was a kid. I thought it was just like a restaurant or something.
I think that book might be making up stuff.
Because, yeah, it doesn't even look like it. It's like a outdoor Applebee's looking place.
So Fred Kelman, I never remember what his last name was. He's like, I'm gonna be the Silver Ranger. No, I'm gonna be the Gold Ranger. And both of those later will be a thing.
Yeah, I love the Silver Rangers.
Gold Ranger now twice. I don't know if there have been more than one Silver Ranger, but there have been two Gold Rangers.
There's a lot of Rangers that are silver, but they're not called the Silver Ranger.
There's at least one actual legit Silver Ranger, though, right?
Wait,
like the Mercury Ranger from Operation Overtime.
And then there's the one from Megaforce.
There's a Silver Ranger in space?
Yes.
That's actually called the Silver Ranger?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Oh,
yeah, I see.
Zane is cool. He's actually, we'll talk about it later. But, so I don't know if the book was right about this, but it was interesting that this opened 4th at the box office. It's
Yeah.
first weekend.
I remembered it doing way better than that. This was in my circles as a kid, this felt like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It also probably didn't cost a lot to make. DJ, we're at the credits now.
Okay. So I'm missing the wonderful song.
Yeah. That's what dreams made of.
This whole credit sequence, doesn't it have like we're in trouble next, and then it has like the kung fu fighting remix?
And I can't remember, does it do the I song, or is that just on the CD?
It might. I don't know. I know Alpha says I at the end, I think.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. That's
yeah. So it was
after credits thing.
But it lost to Apollo 13, Pocahontas, and Batman Forever.
So what happened to Zen and Rita?
I forgot about Pocahontas. That's a good question. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a mid credits.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Zen and Rita will show back up.
And they're super angry.
Remember, it's Power Rangers, so the magic spell is always broken when you destroy the bad guy. And that's not sequel bait so much as just resetting status quo in a universe that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so weird that they feel like they're tied to stuff, but then they don't care about other things.
That one's
it always read like people who just don't understand what continuity is.
How that song opened.
Uh-oh.
Like when it began.
When it began?
When it began, like it was when
Batman began.
And the pudgy pig guy was like, and then we're in trouble.
Oh yeah, DJ, we meant to talk about how that could have been Pudgy Pig. We were gonna do a whole thing about that.
That would, if they could have somehow made that costume look better.
That amazing. And they just kept eating things. Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. What do you do with all the inert ooze? What's it worth? Well, that's a good question. It's sort of like all of the leftover marshmallow with the Marshmallow Man, right?
Yeah, what is the difference between green ooze and purple ooze, really?
In Ghostbusters? I have no idea.
No, I was talking about turtles.
Oh!
There's like pink ooze in Ghostbusters too, isn't there? All kinds of ooze in movies.
Yeah. Something is done. Why can't I remember? Oh, you know what? That last Ninja Turtles movie did something with purple ooze. It does something different than green ooze.
Oh, really? See, I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah. Doesn't it like change back?
Yeah, it reverts, or just makes you human or something. I can't remember.
Interesting.
It turns you back from.
But yeah, there was a
kryptonite.
chance the turtles could use it to turn human, which they didn't do anything with story-wise, but could have been interesting. Because Donatello really wanted to be human, and they didn't do a subplot with it, like they should have.
But they weren't humans, and it's a very specific trait of an ooze to turn you into something just specifically a human.
It's weird. I'm with you. Yes, that's David. I forgot. Yeah, it's Mood Slime in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, well, it was really fun, DJ, watching 95% of the Power Rangers movie with you.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about that last scene I thought was funny that we read about was he couldn't like pay people to fill it out, so he just put an ad in the newspaper apparently.
Yeah, see Power Rangers and fireworks?
That's what he said. And apparently like over 10,000 people showed up.
Yeah. So they had this giant crowd that they didn't have to pay, but they were also probably all really disappointed because they didn't get to see Power Rangers in costume. Maybe they did something cool with it that we don't know about. Like maybe they had some people show up in the costumes or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, but it sounds like they just shot the actors there for like a couple minutes.
DJ, folks are asking what we're doing on the next episode.
This is the end of this week. We finish up season 2. We'll be starting season 3 next week.
Yeah.
So,
but for those of you watching live, Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is the III song.
Yeah, there it is.
I thought it was in here. Yeah, and this will be stuck in your head for weeks on end, regardless of whether you like it or not. Yeah. The guys that wrote this song taking themselves way too seriously.
Yeah, this is far from the Turtles rap.
Just throwing that out there. I don't hate this song. I don't like this song, but I don't hate this song.
So
Jeffrey says, "What happy Ides of March this will be."
So Saba is not really.
We can still send you that calendar.
Not really a big thing in the Power Rangers universe.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do more with him. Like, we don't do much with him.
Yeah, he should be like the Jarvis inside the Zords.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Cinematographic says fist bumps, Cap, Jason, and DJ. We did it.
Yeah,
these credits are like modern credits.
Yeah, why is it so long?
It's still going. I know you're not watching it. It's still going. We have we still have another minute before I can officially turn off the video.
A lot of people.
Yep. Well, and they also take their time at the beginning where they put up, this is going to sound really mean, but they put up the Power Ranger actors' names like 2 at a time, like they're actors. You're like, it's not a Star Trek movie, you guys. Like,
they take it very seriously, even all the way to the credits.
But yeah, that I couldn't remember for sure if that was the Red Hot Chili Peppers version of Higher Ground or not. But yeah, I had never heard the original because of this movie, and then when I finally heard it, I was like, oh, they made I like their version way better.
Yeah, I don't think I have heard the original.
Good song.
I've got the power.
But yeah, that flew by. That goes by quick. That's a really quick hour and a half.
Oh, hey DJ, you can watch the last like 30 seconds of the credits.
Oh, it's back on?
Back on.
Yay!
Yeah, there it is. Got the I going on. So yeah. There we go. We did it. We got through it. This is the best viewing I've had of this in a really long time.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning, I had reservations.
I enjoyed it.
So yeah, we're gonna get back to regular episodes of Power Rangers next time.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the 3-part. That will break down weird, because that night we're gonna shoot a 3-parter and a 4-parter.
Well, we're splitting the 4-parter into 2.
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
But
I'm not looking at the
we'll be doing this guy.
Yeah, Masked Rider.
Masked Rider.
DJ, make sure you start reading up to your homework.
That's an alpha.
I know. You gotta look ahead here. Can't wait till we get to these guys.
I'll have to read about season 2 or season 3 before we start doing season 3.
Get into Master Vile.
I can do that. And
Yeah.
I can tell you all about season 3.
Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We sure appreciate it. If you're watching live, we'll see you again on Friday. If you want to pop back in and watch some Power Rangers with us, and you'll get to see already the first half of the TV show adaptation of the movie, which introduces my favorite Mighty Morphin henchman, Rita Revolto.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, here he is. This must be a Japanese picture though, because he has a guitar.
Yeah, he never has that here. He's got a really cool design. I've always really liked him. He's got grenades on his belt.
He does, yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks again for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time. Jason, did you have fun?
Yeah.
I'm Captain Logan. This was Jason.
This was me.
And there's DJ.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody. See you later. Thanks for joining us.